Hi, welcome back. My name is Drew. I'm going to be talking today about mastery and the connotations that we use it in, basically what it means in regards to the way that we're using it today, which is about personal mastery or mastery of self. There's a lot of people that call very learned people like the Buddha or Jesus, or they call these people masters. And so I'm going to sort of delve into what mastery is. First off, we're going to go to the dictionary definition of master, the root word. And I'm not going to quote any of the dictionary definitions. You can go look them up for yourself. But all the definitions of master are either about superiority or control, which makes me understand why there's a lot of people out there that think that mastery is about controlling your emotions or controlling the way that you respond or controlling your ego. And this is really far from what the true version, or I suppose it would be my version of mastery is. But the type of personal mastery that they've been talking about in many of the New Age books. Anyway, mastery has nothing to do with control. If you need to control something, then you are not mastering it. And I suppose I should define what I'm using mastery as. Mastery, to me, is 100% personal acceptance of what is. Okay. Now, that's not to say that we know exactly what is, because if you look at my videos earlier, we lie all the time. And not only do we lie all the time to other people, we lie to ourselves. So a lot of that is personal denial. It's our ego taking control and going nuts. Okay. And trying to convince us that we're better than, we really are. I'm going to give you an example, actually. I went to the gym today to play some badminton, because I'm a badminton player. And we've been working out on the Wii, and I've been losing weight. And in accordance to the Wii, I'm 210 pounds. Well, I hopped on the scale there, and I was 225. And I'm like, whoa. And I said, and it was kind of disappointing. And I'm just like, okay, so why is this disappointing? Because I had an expectation that I would be lighter, or I wished or hoped that I would be lighter, or... Okay, I had a hope or expectation that I was going to be lighter. And the truth is, I don't think that I'm 225 pounds. I think I'm 220, which is what I usually weigh. But, that's a big difference. It's a 15-pound difference from my Wii at home to the scale that they had there. And... why am I arguing so much about what is really going on? It's because I want it to be different. I want to be skinnier, or I want to be to have less weight on my body. And so therefore, I have this whole concept in my head of, I wish I was this, and I'm not that. And so it's disappointing. It's not disappointing, it's just what is. So I'm 225 pounds, and I may well be 225 pounds. Okay, that's what I am. Now what do I want to do? So, part of it is accepting that I am 225 pounds, as opposed to denying that I'm 225 pounds. And in accordance to that scale, I am 225 pounds. Who knows? I might get onto another scale, and it might say I'm 220, it might say I'm 230. So, whatever comes up. But again, it's about acceptance of what is, and say, okay, now I understand what is. What do I wish to do, or what do I choose to do now? And mastery of a situation is not allowing the weight to control, or my desire to have a different weight to control what it is that I'm doing, but to be able to choose it. And now I know that sounds kind of like a little bit of hair splitting, and it sounds almost the same, or maybe it does sound the same. But the difference between holding on to a fear and having that fear motivate me, or taking a look at my life and saying, this is who I choose to express myself as opposed to being afraid and having to get the weight off that way. One is a mastery version, and the other is a controlled version, something that expresses control over me, because now the fear has me in its grip, whereas a master or a master of that situation is not, it's not about not allowing the fear. There just is none. There is only a confidence of saying, okay, where do I wish to go? What do I wish as the true expression of who I am? Right? Is this a true expression of who I am, and this is the way that I choose to express it? And so, as I said, mastery is a total acceptance. Now, also, acceptance, if you look in the dictionary, has the connotation of tolerance. Okay? That people accept something, or they tolerate it. The difference between what I'm talking about on an acceptance level is to embrace it and completely, and it's not so much understand it, but welcome it into your life for what it is, as opposed to tolerating it, which means that you're pissed off at it or you hold a negative emotion towards it, but you'll just put that over to the side. And that too is a form of control. You have to control it. And if you have to control something, it has control of you. A master has no need to control, but has the ability to accept things as they are, and then choose to find the truest expression of themselves and follow that, no matter what the evidence points to what they should be doing. And I mean, it's a feeling of acceptance, and you know, I hate to use the word knowingness, but it kind of aptly describes that. It's sort of like following your intuition, but it's a profound trust in yourself, in being able to deal with, handle. It's a confidence. When they're talking about mastery in school, it is about somebody that learns more than everybody. Mastery has nothing to do with superiority. It has nothing to do with that. The ego needs to be superior. Mastery does not need any superiority in one's life. And so to be a master, and I mean, I'm not saying this from a master standpoint. I mean, there are certain things in my life that, yes, I have mastered. So I have the understanding of what the feeling is. I have the understanding of how it flows. The truth is I'm certainly not a master in all areas of my life. I keep working towards that, because that is the expression of who I wish to be. And in that, and in the understanding that I can get there, there is a certain degree of mastery, because it's not about, oh my God, I'm not going to get there. Oh my God, all the fear that comes up with that. It has to do with a true acceptance of the fact that I am the master in this. And I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a superiority. It's not a superiority over the fear. It's not a superiority over anything. It is just the absolute knowledge that I have every single thing that I need right here. There is nothing lacking. I suppose that, you know, I mean, when I'm talking about it, and I'm processing as I'm talking, obviously, when I think about it, it is the absolute understanding that you need nothing else than what you have to be able to deal with anything. You know, I remember I was talking to a lady one time, and she had met a guy. He was an ambulance driver in the States, and we ended up talking, and for whatever reason, people process with me well, and we just get talking about stuff, and I dig deep. And so she was talking about this guy, and she's so nervous and everything like that. And I mean, they've been going out and they'd been seeing each other, and you know, everything was working great. And she's basically selling her place up here and was moving down to the States, and you know, and she's all just nervous and, oh my God, what if, what, how, who, what, when, why. And I went, well, hold on a second, because she was going into depression and all this fear, and I said, hold on a second. I said, I got a question for you. You know, I mean, and she was having trouble with her family, obviously, and they were all against it, and she didn't know how she was going to reconcile everything. And I said, hold on. I said, I don't know, have you had bad stuff happen to you before? Oh, yeah. I said, well, tell me about, the worst thing that you've ever had happen to you that you had to, get through. And I don't remember exactly what it was because it wasn't really important to me what it was, but that we've all had them. These things that were just horrid that we had to go through. And I said, you know, it was a relief to get through that and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and I said, yeah, did you get through it? She kind of looks around and she says, well, yeah. I said, so with your previous track record, what on earth makes you think you're not going to be able to get through this? You know, it's not something that people really take into account, and especially when they're in depression or in a tremendous amount of fear. But the truth is we've already come through a lot of difficult stuff. I don't care who you are. I mean, it's I came through being raped at 3. I came through a lot of living at home alone. My mom being out, she was never home. I was a latchkey kid. My sister and I having to go through a bunch of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that went on in my life, and it was really tough to deal with. And I still have lots of things that I deal with. But I know, and I mean, this is coming from an understanding of what mastery really is the knowledge that you will always get through it. We've got coping mechanisms, we got all of this stuff. And I know that it is hard a lot of the times not to allow it's not even not to allow. It's hard to be able to find mastery in a situation where there's a lot of fear and a lot of depression and all of that stuff, physical or otherwise. And when you really understand the mastery of that whole situation, is that you've come through it before. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, whether you choose to believe it's from some other source, whether you choose to believe that it comes from yourself, that's all well and good. How you choose to believe that is fine. But when you know that it's there, okay, whatever and however you choose to justify what that is, you start to really understand what mastery is all about. Because mastery is not about controlling a thing. It is about knowing and accepting a thing. It is not how much you learn. It is not how much power somebody gives you. It's about just truly accepting what is happening now and understanding that you have everything that you need to get through it, to walk through it, and to be at the end of it. And that there is always a way to look at a situation, a way to be with a situation that will allow you to laugh, have fun, and be joyful, and be grateful. We all do it differently. We all have our mechanisms that allow us to do that. But when it comes right down to it, you have to understand you. And understanding you means that, to a great degree, you are the most powerful person in the entire universe. Because you know it. And when you state that, you understand what mastery really is. And I think that's it.